What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with the overall market, what's going on with SPY, Tesla, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. What you should be watching for as time progresses. I'm going to break down why the market's getting a small little dip before we likely will continue higher later on. And how things are looking, my personal opinion. But before I break things down, all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am personally not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Weeble link, which is down below in the description. If you sign up for Weeble and deposit $500, you are guaranteed 20 free stocks. If you deposit $25,000 or more, you're guaranteed 75 of them. And the offer ends very soon in just about 2.5 weeks. But anyways, when it comes to SPY is still holding up very well at 528.5 as of right now. We did get a little dip, at least earlier on after we got the PMI data report. You guys can see this data was looking very, very important. So we had the ISM manufacturing PMI being a little bit below expectations, causing a little bit of a dip. Then we also had new orders being below expectations, not to mention manufacturing prices going very close to what we expected in the forecast. So the data basically is showing some contraction, a little bit slowdown in manufacturing orders and factors like that, which are not the best. There's a little bit of contraction in the employment sector as well. And this data is causing a little bit of a dip, at least in the markets for now, but it's not necessarily the end of the world. At 11:30 a.m., we have the 3-month and 6-month bill auctions coming out. This is going to be very important as well. We're going to be looking for some volatility at this time as well. So it's going to be in about an hour from now. But let me just note that although the market's kind of chopping a bit, kind of dipping a little bit, it is not the end of the world. I see this as another dip buying opportunity. And I think that as time goes on, this could be another strategy building opportunity to start getting ready for another swing. I personally, what I want to say is that I'm not really giving any financial advice. I don't really interpret it that way. But this could be an opportunity to start kind of dollar cost averaging into some more swings for the next big leg up. I don't think SPY is done just yet. I think that there's going to be more upside coming later on. I also expect SPY to eventually make its way up to 531.5, and eventually the new all-time high. I do see that eventually coming later on. For the short term, however, there could be a little dip coming, so I just want to give you guys a warning. Our support, the critical support's at 527.25. We're also trying to hold above 528, so these two levels. If we lose 527.25, we could be dipping all the way down to the 526 area. Once again, guys, even if we do dip a little bit, that is still going to be completely fine. We ripped all the way up from 518 all the way up to the 529 area, 11 points. So dipping a little bit is going to be completely fine before we try to continue higher. Overall, we're still looking pretty good and holding up very well in my personal opinion. So if we dip a little bit, it's going to be completely fine. Don't worry too much about it. Just look for some buying opportunities. Do not, and this is like a strategy that I would say, don't throw too much money in at once. You want to basically just take it a little bit at a time. A strategy that I would do is just kind of dollar cost average little by little, and eventually things will add up. And my anticipation is that we could dip a little bit, retest 527.5. Even if we dip a little bit below that, it's going to be completely fine because we're going to eventually bounce. And I do still see us running up to the 530s. I still think it's going to come, but be prepared for a little bit of a dip before that ends up happening. For Nvidia announcing the new AI chips is holding up very well. We have 1140 as resistance. Breaking this opens the doors for 1150. Then we also have other stocks like Tesla holding up very, very well. Tesla's trying to hold above $180 a share, looking pretty good in my personal opinion. If we do continue to break from here, look at 182 as our next resistance. Our support is currently at 180. Losing that opens the doors for 178. Very close to where our 20 EMA happens to be. Overall, it's holding up very well in my personal opinion. So I see more upside potential. I think 182 is on the table. Tesla's doing a good job so far. For the QQQ, it's also holding up very well thanks to Nvda. We have supports all the way down here around basically 453. And if we lose this, then we have 452.7. So we have these two areas right over here. We have resistance at 455.5. Breaking this opens the doors for this imbalance fill. And then also at the 457 area. So we're looking more bullish overall. We have a nice looking bottoming structure, and we're holding up very well, in my personal opinion, on the triple Q. And we've been pumping very, very nicely. So we've started off all the way down here at 443. Coming all the way up to about 454 is still a big achievement. And we're actually holding up a lot better than SPY thanks to Nvda and Apple. So I wouldn't be surprised if we actually shuffle a bit within this range. But I do see some more upside potential later on. I think we will eventually push up to 458 plus. So for now, I am seeing some more upside potential. See if we just continue to hold up nicely. And I think right now the market is still showing life. Apple managed to break past 193.5. Now we're approaching the next resistance at 195. Not bad for Apple. Watch support currently at 194 point. This is actually 194 point like 5 around that area. Resistance at 195 and then 195.8. So we're looking bullish overall with a very, very nice push. And I see some more upside potential in this chart. And for others out there, I just want to call out that for the way the market is moving, we're actually holding up very well for many of these different tickers. For other stocks out there, such as AMD, I just want to say AMD did push initially all the way up to this 172 target. Now we're still kind of range bound. We'll be watching it while we hold above 164. For others out there like AMC and GameStop, although they kind of pumped very nicely because we didn't hold key support, we're going to be watching support at 29.8 on GameStop. If we lose that, I'll be looking for a dip to 25.8. So we got to try to hold very close to this 30 area, or else 25.8 is coming. For AMC, we're trying to hold the 20 EMA. We have 4.75 as our support. We have resistance at $5 and then also at 5.2. So we'll have to see how well this holds up. As of right now, we're holding our 20 EMA on AMC. If we lose this, we have a big gap to fill all the way down to 4.3. So we'll see if we hold 4.75 or not. But that's going to be a very, very key support for now. And then last but not least, we have Bitcoin. How is Bitcoin looking? In my personal opinion, like I said earlier, I was expecting 70,000. We actually came very close. We did hit the 70,000 mark. Now we're going to likely shuffle up here for a little bit longer. But that's what I'm seeing, at least for the markets thus far. Uh, for Tesla, once again, we're still holding up nicely, so we'll see how well it holds from this point on. Kind of shuffling this 180 area. We need to see if we could close above here or not. If we do close above here, that's going to be a good sign. But just know, guys, market could dip a bit. We're not holding up super well for now in terms of trying to hold above like 529 or so. So we could look for a little dip. So don't worry too much. But like I said in my earlier videos, I am still bullish overall. I still believe the SPY is going to rebound soon. We're going to continue to rally into the 530s. This little dip is completely healthy. It's just going to be, something that's worthwhile, and it's going to eventually lead to something that's much better. So I think that these market makers are going to be manipulating stocks more. We're going to be looking for some liquidity grabs and more buying opportunities. I still think there's more upside coming later on. So do not necessarily let this kind of like hurt your conviction. All right. So with that being said, that is it for this update, at least for the time being. I'm going to take a break for a couple of hours. I'm going to be focusing and working on other things. So I'm going to be away from the screens for just a little bit of time. But I will most definitely see you guys in about 3 to 4 hours for the next update video. So with that being said, I just want to say I really appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you all so much for listening. And right now, as you can see, SPY is dipping a little bit more, so it could dip a bit, but it's going to be completely fine. So watch the supports I called out. Know that ultimately we're going to get bought back up later on. But for now, a dip is very healthy. All right. So have a great day, guys. I'll see you guys very soon in a few hours, and peace out.